Our plan to cross to the Bahamas was canceled by the perfect storm of financially disastrous power. When we sold our truck and trailer, we were unaware just how much capital gains tax would affect our life. Thanks, U.S. government. Hurricane Joaquin flooded one of our rental houses. Thanks, Mother Nature. And most importantly, almost every estimate we got for boat work was half what we had to pay. Thanks, boatyards. We decided to go back over the road for a year, make enough money to pay off all these new expenses, then try to retire again later. QP was in good spirits even though our boating lifestyle had to be put on hold for a year. We spent about 8 wonderful months traveling south from Deltaville, Virginia to Vero Beach, Florida. I'm not sure exactly why, but the trip north only took 20 days. Maybe the northerly ICW current is stronger than the southerly ICW current. We only have a few interesting photos from the high-speed return trip. When we arrived back in New Bern, we found Duck Creek Marina. Kathy there is very friendly and helpful. She arranged for Freya to be safely stored for as long as we needed to work. Thanks, Kathy and Duck Creek Marina. Now our lives would really change. We had lived in the 70-inch sleeper of an 18-wheeler for 6 years, but now we had a taste of the boat life. Freya is a mansion compared to the truck sleeper. Our friend Rod had jealously kept in touch with us as we traveled on Freya. He offered to retire while we drove his truck. We are very blessed to have made such a good friend. Many people ask what we carried while driving. The answer is anything that can be tied down on the deck, from airplane parts and army tanks to submarine propellers and Z-drives. Some people compare truck drivers to the old cowboys. Truthfully, sometimes it's great being out on the open range. Other times, not so much. An average day trucking for us is wake up at 4:30 in the morning, run in the truck stop for a bathroom break, grab a hot dog and an iced coffee. Then drive 700 miles, find another truck stop to spend the night, run inside for a shower and as much unhealthy food as you can eat, wake up the next morning at 4:30 in the morning and do it all over again. The good days are when you have to wait for hours somewhere to load, of course without pay. Considering the pressure of the untrained drivers, poor food choices, and sitting on my seat all day, it's no wonder I have blood pressure and blood sugar problems. Truck life is not all bad. We have to reset our 70-hour clock sometimes with a 36-hour break. Before my trucking friends have a fit, we often work in Canada where the reset is 36, not 34 hours. We try to plan our reset somewhere that we can get out of the truck stop and walk around. Here is QP's favorite Mexican restaurant in Ontario, Oregon, and you should never miss an opportunity to steam a couple of Maine lobsters, bought right off the boat. During our 6 years over the road, QP has seen every U.S. interstate from end to end, the same in Alaska and Canada. She previously wanted to travel the USA in an RV, but after being on the road so much, she likes the idea of living on Freya. Here are some shots taken from our time in Rod's truck. Here we are walking about 2 miles from the truck stop to the local Walmart. Yes, we could have driven the truck, but that's why most truck drivers are overweight. QP keeps pushing me to try to be more healthy. And here we are on the return trip with 2 very heavy backpacks. We consider ourselves to be liveaboard sailors. Our friends Bill Scott and his wife, Wesley and his wife, are liveaboard truckers. They both have land yachts. Many of us arrived at the docks to pick up our loads a few days early, so just like sailors, we had a big party while waiting. Food, fun, festivities. A good time was had by all. This is our favorite TA truck stop. It's in North Bend, Washington. We often reset here because we could hike 3 or 4 miles on a small country road to a small, clean stream. Oh, did I mention the water is cold? Are you sensing our need to be near water? On Crow's Nest Pass in BC, Canada, we found a mountain spring that someone had added a pipe for filling water jugs. See, once you get used to lugging water home, you just can't stop. Here we are back at the dock again, picking up one of the last few loads before going back to Freya. We just can't seem to stay away from the water. We had stopped to check on Freya twice while driving, and both times she was exactly like we left her. When we arrived to move back on board, what a mess! The hurricane season was not good to Freya. Inside was covered with a thick layer of green-black mold. To make matters worse, we had a rental car that needed to be returned quickly, so we put all our belongings inside the boat with the mold. After a few days of cleaning and $80 at the laundromat, we were ready to put Freya back in the water. When we put Freya on the hard, we did as much as we could to have her ready to go back in the water as fast as possible. All we had to do was clean the mold, replace the zincs, fill all the empty gas jugs, flush the antifreeze out of the water tanks, change the filters in the water system, and refill the water tanks with clean, fresh water. All that is left now is to wait for a day when the water is over 6 feet deep so we can get out of the channel. Hooray! We're retired and cruising again.